Oh, hey. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy
Yeah,
Sunday.
early bird gets the worm, eh?
That's right. That's not
Yeah.
that early for me.
Yeah,
but-
for you it's not. I mean, we started at 7 a.m. Pacific. I was up like 4 doing stuff. Already did a walk in the river preserve. But yeah, I'm feeling a little tired now. I
Yeah.
already feel like it's time for lunch.
I feel like it's just it's like the same time we normally do this.
It is,
more or less. But like
but it's
I don't
a
know because
Sunday.
it's a Sunday. I woke up not thinking I had to do something or prepare for something, and then I was like, oh, my brain is a little bit slower.
Yeah.
But
I see you drinking like an iced coffee, and I'm like, right after this, I'm gonna get myself probably an iced latte.
Well, yeah, and it's been negative degrees here for a while, and there are days where I still drink. California ruined me. It didn't ruin me. I love iced coffee, but like it is negative degrees, and I'm still like, yep, I want that iced coffee.
Walk around with a nice cold cup in your hand.
It's an experience. It's not even really about the temperature anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's it. Yeah. Anyway, well, look, today we're going to be talking about nostalgia. So before I even get to the idea of nostalgia and what that means for us, good and bad, this is what live stream number 13 or something. I'm making a number up at this point. Do you actually
11.
know? Oh, I was too many. Live stream number 11. It's a live stream called Breakthroughs. And the idea is we're going to help people get the breakthrough before something breaks you. And I say that because we've both had experiences with something almost breaking us, right? Jake had 3 strokes at the age of 31. I was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer 3.5 years ago, still working through some of that. And what we realized is that we believe that many of these things were preventable. And more importantly, that we think we can not only prevent a breakdown of some kind, but we can also find the breakthrough to the next level of I guess, who you want to become, who we want to become. And so we just talk about some of those things in life that can, I guess, weigh us down a little bit and get us close to the breakdown. And so we hope that by talking about these things, we can help people get the breakthroughs to the next level, whatever that means to people. So I don't know. Did I cover that all right?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Every time we do the intro, I think about other ways to say the same thing because we're hashing it out. But
yeah, we're figuring it out.
I kept using this phrase, like it's like preventative care is like a term used in healthcare. It's like preventative mental health. Mm-hmm. But that is so boring and dry, and like no one cares about. I mean, people care, but they're not excited to listen to a live stream about preventative mental health.
Yeah, like
so the whole point is exactly what you said, but it's a live stream, and we're just 2 normal people shooting the shit, and it's not like some science. It's not like a healthcare podcast, I guess.
Yeah. It's honestly, I'm getting ready to do this 5-hour training on Friday. And, I state in my training, I go, look, I'm not a neuroscientist and I'm not a doctor. The difference is I've embodied all the stuff around neuroscience, and I'm speaking from experience, which is very different than speaking from theory. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the big thing. Additionally, I've realized that when we talk about this idea of breakthroughs before something breaks you, and I don't know, maybe we have to have this discussion some other time, but like breakthrough before something breaks you feels slightly negative, but it's true. Like and I have some data on this, okay. But my point is like, how do we also make it say like, look, dude, the breakthrough means you get to a new level. That's why I added that today. Because I want something where it feels like it's next level too. Because here's what I've learned, and we're supposed to get into nostalgia, so this will be another live stream some other time. But here's what I've learned, right? The way the brain works, we are literally 80% of the time in a survival-ish state, meaning you feel pressure, you feel stress, or you're in pure survival. And that is just purely because ancestral, like the way our brain is operating. So you're always in that baseline of almost a minor survival state. So it takes work to actually get into the other state of flow, right? Which is the breakthrough. Anyway, sorry, tangent. But my point is you're always in one of the 2 states, the survival-ish state or the flow state. The problem is we automatically, because of how we're designed, we work, we automatically start with a baseline of survival.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, yeah, get the breakthrough before something breaks you, but why not get the breakthrough to get to the next level, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You'll get into flow state.
I spent 5 minutes on that, and I don't think I was supposed to.
We could call this whole live stream FAFO, you know, because that's what we're doing most of the time. I mean, let's say by episode or live stream 50, it'll be much more dialed. But up until then, you can expect a lot of this initially.
We're literally hashing it out as we talk about it.
The shit pipe is real, you know.
It is real, definitely real. This is like, I'm not saying we're like John Mayer or Ed Sheeran, because we're not. But this is like watching John Mayer or Ed Sheeran make their hit songs in real time.
We know you would love to watch those people write songs in real time, and you'd be like, wow. So we expect that same type of energy on a live stream about your brain.
Oh my God. It's so entertaining. Anyway, okay.
People you've never met before, talking about you and your brain.
Oh, dude. It's well, finally, the topic of nostalgia. And this thing about nostalgia, we're talking about it today because nostalgia actually is a problem, right? But it can be a tool to empower you. And people are like, what? Nostalgia, actually, when I say it, it sounds so nice, like nostalgia. But it's actually a problem. Like it's a serious problem. I'm actually going to say it's a serious problem. And people are like, what? But it can be an empowerment tool. So we need to figure that out today.
So it could be both things.
The answer has to be done in the next 20 minutes. Anyway.
So what?
So
how?
Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask, like, first, with the statement that nostalgia is a problem, like, how so? Like, in what context? Like, paint the picture of nostalgia being a problem.
So, why is it a problem? Well, first off, the reason this is even coming up is because I did this post on Instagram about me driving my stick shift manual truck. And it was a nostalgia post, but it was actually based around neuroscience, like why it happened. But everybody, I don't know how many people actually read the neuroscience and thought about the science. They were like, oh yeah, man, I used to do the same thing. I used to do my makeup, smoke my clove, and you know, change CDs. I was like, okay, I don't know if the neuroscience stuff hit, but the nostalgia hit. And I was like, okay. So the reason why I say nostalgia is a problem is because for a lot of people, as the years go by, let's say you graduate, sub-automatic curseware, tell me more about that. Why? I don't understand. He didn't like the idea, or he or she.
I don't know what the idea is, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know.
Like more. Anyway, the point is nostalgia. When you let's say when you leave high school or college, many people feel like the world is their oyster. It's like just this big opening, and then you get into the real world. You get into the world, and like 20 years go by, and you feel like you're just. It's my brother. So I don't know about that, but anyway, so you just you like literally start to kind of rethink the past and wishing you were in the past. And so you get nostalgic about events in your life. It's, again, based in neuroscience, but you get nostalgic about things in your life and you start thinking about, man, remember the days when we used to sit around the bonfire in the cornfield.
The good old days.
The good old days,
mm-hmm.
Right? Well, why the good old days? There's so much more ahead of you. But the problem is you're starting to live in the past because the current present and your future, right, is not as exciting anymore,
mm-hmm.
right? And so that's why nostalgia can be a problem. Like there's nothing. It's great to remember the moments in the soccer game in high school when you were going to win the championship, and it's great to remember that. But if that's all you think about and all you talk about when you hang out with your friends, the nostalgia is actually becoming a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that's probably the fastest or like the easiest example for people to think about is when you get together with older friends, right, from a long time ago, how much of the conversation is about things that are happening now or in the future that you're actually excited about doing versus things you did 20 or 30 years ago. It basically, it's very comforting and it's fun. I'm not going to deny that. But it like that was a realization I had is like if my previous historic life was the only thing that excited me, then like what am I doing now to change that, you know? Because I don't want to just live in my history and my feelings, you know, like in the past all the time.
Yeah. I think that's not everybody's like this. I'm going to call it 98-2, right? 98% rely on nostalgia to feel good. Mm-hmm. Right? 2% don't, right? 2% are forward thinking, right? Life's in front of them, no matter the age.
Yeah.
And that's the problem is people start looking in the past because of nostalgia, because of how they felt in those moments. And if you're constantly reverting back to the past to feel what you felt then, frankly, something's not right now.
I mean, the way you describe this, and now I'm thinking about it, it feels like a numbing device, the same way that a drink at the end of the day or watching Netflix to numb your mind, because you're not actually enjoying or satisfied with what's going on now, mm-hmm. or what is ahead of you. So instead, you retreat to something else that just makes you, it's comforting to your brain. It's like a dopamine hit of a different kind.
That's actually really good. People are scrolling their phones, right, to get the dopamine hit. When you're right, you're actually getting the dopamine hit from the nostalgia, right, of the past, which is funny because
there's a lot of posts on social media that are literally nostalgic that I like watching. So
yeah, I mean, well, that's why the post that I did like blew up because apparently the dopamine hit like a mofo.
Yeah.
Right. But I actually want to go back to this dopamine thing in neuroscience, right? Basically the reason why you can have a nostalgic experience is purely because at that time you were getting that dopamine hit. Fast forward 20 years, you can think about that moment and it triggers the same dopamine as if you're right there. And then what happens though is your body gets addicted to that dopamine feeling. So you constantly live in that nostalgia, mm-hmm. right? And so I don't know, I guess the question is like, what are you constantly nostalgic about? What are you constantly nostalgic about? That's the first question. The second question would be, how is that helping you, for lack of a better term and be super cliche, get to where you want to go?
Mm-hmm. Are you asking me?
Yeah, I guess so.
You're like, yeah, I am now.
Time for me to shut up and let you.
No, I was just going to say, I was like, so we painted the picture of like how it can be a problem, right? When it becomes a numbing device. But it's now like, how do you pivot that and say like, how is it an empowering tool? Is that what like, so I guess the first thing is, I don't know, like when I'm nostalgic, it's usually college or earlier, right? Because that's when you're learning about everything was new and novel, right? All the time. Mm-hmm. And exciting all the time, right? Everything was a different, I don't know, novel experience, I guess.
Yeah.
So when I go back there, I mean, it's usually, I guess I'm not doing it all the time. It's when something has to trigger it, right? Like I don't just like, I got to go think about the good old days. It's something triggers the good old days, right? And it's often talking with friends. It's a post on social media. Like, oh, I used to do that too. And it lights you up because you're like, oh, those were the times where I didn't have a care in the world, you know, or like the worries were very small and different back then. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I guess one, you know, like, so I'd say none of them are very productive. They are that sort of like numbing element, meaning like, that was a good time. And it's good to remember that. But, you know, I don't know if you wanted to pivot to like the empowerment side of things.
Well, okay. And we will, because it's weird, right? Because nostalgia is a problem. It's also nice, like when you hang out with a friend you haven't seen in 20 years, that's a positive nostalgic moment, right? But then that's where it starts to borderline between, is it bad or is it empowerment? So the empowerment side, you can use nostalgia to, I guess the easiest way to say this is nostalgia is either keeping you in the past or it's propelling you through the future, right? Because nostalgia can keep you stuck unless you look at it and say, I've done it once before, I can do it again. Meaning your head's going forward. You're looking for it. The reason I say this is because I thought about this a couple of years ago. Look, between the year like 2016 to 18, 19, something like that, like things they just weren't going. Things weren't working out the way I thought and had hoped. And I felt very insecure. I felt very insecure in what I was capable of. Yet just a few years prior, like I succeeded quite well in a certain area. So I was in real estate and I did really well. I did really well for my age. And I was like, dude, I'm so capable. It's incredible. Well, then, you have a 5-year period where it's like, dude, I'm working so hard and like nothing's coming to fruition. And all of a sudden my insecurity just started skyrocketing through the roof. And it was just holding me back. And one day I remember sitting down and I became nostalgic about my success selling real estate in Chicago. And I sat there and I was like, dude, I'm not just sitting thinking about all the people I sold houses to or whatever, and I did really well. I started thinking about, I was capable, man. I did it. And so that nostalgia, instead of becoming like a crutch, it actually became, hey, dude, you're actually capable. You're insecure right now. But that nostalgia going back said, you're very capable of doing whatever you need to do next. The time might have been long, 5 years. It may feel like this is the way life is going, but you've done something in the past that can help you create an incredible future.
Yeah, it's evidence, right? It's just evidence that you are capable.
Yep.
Because you had already done it. I mean, the tiny risk stuff I do, there's a whole video just on like, it is faster to get confident or feel capable or say like everything is possible if you do something, because like, a lot of people they try to work it out first. They ruminate and they read one book and they're like, okay, I'm confident now. And I was like, if you just do the thing, and oftentimes you've done it in the past, you just kind of forgot about it. If you do it, then you can't say you can't do it. Like, I don't know. It's like this weird chicken and the egg situation. But yeah, that I've done that too, where like I've thought about, probably in like 3 years ago, I remember sitting in a little WeWork booth, like about to take a call. And I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like I didn't feel confident. I don't even know what the call was about. I was like, I've done this a billion times, like it's like, maybe it had been many years. Right. And I didn't have the confidence in what I was pitching or describing or explaining. And I was like, I've done this before and it's going to be fine. And I brought myself back to a different WeWork. There are so many WeWorks. Yeah. When I really was the first time ever doing a call like that, and I was like, I really don't know what I'm doing. But because of those experiences and thinking about it, it's just, I use it as a tool. So you're like, this is not really a big deal. I don't know. I think one other point I want to make is that when we are younger, we don't have all of these layers of responsibility and expectations. And so it's easier for us to just do shit. Like we feel capable almost out of being naive, because we're like, we don't know we're not capable. So we do it. And that is why like we're capable of these things. And then it's weird as we grow older and we become more capable of those things. We actually feel less capable because of all of the external input saying that it is not good enough, or you need to do it this way or that way or whatever. So it's almost like nostalgia at times is like going back to your inner child. I don't even know if that's the term I should use here. The inner child of like, you can do it. You got to block out all the noise. I don't know.
No, I mean, it's true, right? Because like I said, it's a generalized idea here that most people who leave high school or college going on to the next part of life, you're leaving the adolescence, and all of a sudden this world of possibility for many opens up. You're like, this world of possibility, right? Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, for some people, it just feels like it gets siphoned right out. Like you can't maintain that world of possibility. And when you lose that feeling of, dude, there's so much possibility. When you lose that feeling of so much possibility, it's like, how do you regenerate that?
Yeah.
Right? There's so many different modalities for regenerating the thought and the feeling of possibility, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what we're saying is nostalgia, when used right, is a tool to regenerate your feeling and thinking around everything's possible.
I mean, ultimately what you're saying is you're reminding yourself that you are capable of X, Y, Z. And nostalgia is often framed as this comforting blanket of the good old days. And you're saying, you know, if you're trying to accomplish something and someone says, you got to remember that you can do this. That's really hard to like, okay, like I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that information. And you're saying like, well, think of a time specifically in your past that you did that thing. It wasn't like I'm thinking about doing it. It's like you did it. And that is why you love that memory so much, because you were doing it already. Mm-hmm. And so now it's like, use that experience of actually having done it already to remind yourself that like, there's like no reason not to be confident.
I think I figured it out. I have a breakthrough on the show called Breakthroughs.
The goal.
You just said it. I realize now. So nostalgia is a tool, right? Mm-hmm. But what happens is people will always say, hey, remember you were capable. Remember. You're asking somebody, right? You're asking somebody to go into their brain. There's so much stuff in there people don't even realize. I mean, you may realize, but it's a lot. But you're asking me to go in there and remember. But when you say the word nostalgia actually doesn't trigger thinking. Nostalgia triggers feeling. And we actually remember better from the way we felt. You see what I'm saying? So nostalgia as a tool. So if somebody says, hey, man, you're capable of this, I need you to remember. Already you've lost me. But Jake, if you said to me, Chad, I need you to be nostalgic about your ability based, I don't know how to say it.
No, that's funny. I mean, this is good, because I'm like, I was like, as you were saying, I was like, how do you say that? Like, hey, you got to go be nostalgic about it. You gotta be nostalgic about it, because we don't use that phrase. But you're completely right. Because so when someone says, remember you were capable, or remember that time you did this thing, that sounds like that's data point. That's like, there was an event in time that this existed and it happened and it's done. When it's nostalgic, I put myself in the shoes of that person at that time in that environment, and I feel the entire experience.
Yeah.
And therefore, I mean, and then you get into the whole thinking, feeling,
all that
chemical reaction and all this stuff. So, Chad, is what you're saying, if we told people, hey, in order to feel capable or confident in this moment in time, I need you not to remember what happened. I need you to be nostalgic about what happened. So you generate feeling, which generates the emotion of the event and puts you in, and your whole body reacts and your brain comes together to do whatever it is you're trying to do.
Yeah. Oh, man. Holy shit. I love when we have breakthroughs live.
Breakthroughs, live, which I retitled it that, by the way, because I
noticed. That, dude, I've never.
We
literally were just like, nostalgia is problem, man. It can be a tool, but like as we're going through it, I'm like, dude, it's a like I was just saying it as a concept, but now as like we talk about it, I'm like, nostalgia is the key to your future.
I feel like yes, I know. It's like we are making it an actual tool, not just a concept.
Correct.
Meaning like our concept was, if you are nostalgic, you can use that stuff to like help you now and in the future. And we're saying, no, you can actually tell yourself, be nostalgic. Don't remember it. Put yourself in that position. Remember the feeling and the emotion of the time. And now you can actually use that as a tool to change things now.
Yeah.
And not just a concept.
Yeah. I mean, wow. Nostalgia is just a term that everybody uses, but in my head now, nostalgia is actually a neuroscientific tool to use to break through to wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
Oh man, we got more to talk about on that. It's
Yeah.
par for
Well,
the course, I
now
guess.
my first thought is how do we put this into a system to use?
Like, I mean, dude, we just
if I were to
came
give
up
this
with it,
on a
but
document to somebody to like, here's your objective is XYZ, go this, and this, and then, you know, see, tell us what happens.
All right. You just obviously came up with this, so I'm going to riff right now. And it's only based off the experience I had 2 days ago. I walked out the door, had a feeling, I got transported right back. It was a nostalgic moment. And then, dude, everything was like and I was like, I was doing something that I did 26 years earlier automatically. And so I think the way to do it is like, I want to think about the problem here, which is people, they collapse the world of possibility. All of a sudden they go from the world is my oyster to this is just the way it goes. Right. And so somehow you have to look back at a moment in your life where you felt something was possible. I don't know what the something is. Is it a dance? Is it a recital? Is it a job? Is it whatever? I don't know. But you have to go back to the moment when you're like, the world is my oyster. I am capable. Mm-hmm. And you have to go back and feel that and remember what that feels like. Right. Remind yourself that you were capable because you felt it. And then, I don't know, I'm making this up right now, but I know it's some truth to it. It's like you feel that now for whatever is coming next. So yeah, I don't know. That's the start of something, I think, in my head.
Yeah, I was like, as you were talking, I'm trying to think about like, I'm not like a use case, right? Like what? Like, oh, I feel this way today about this very specific thing that I'm supposed to do or I haven't done because I feel like I can't do it. And then like, how would I don't know, like a thing at work or whatever. I don't know what it is. Like, I can't do this. It's really hard. And then you go back to a different time and you're like, oh, I remember doing that same thing, but I have to feel the emotion, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. I think it's going to take a lot more time than our 30-minute live stream to sort out the whole SOP of the groundbreaking new technique called Nostalgify yourself.
Well, you know, there was a point where we're like, oh, we don't have enough topics to talk about. Now I can't, there's no end in sight. So
I feel like I'm actually going to take our transcripts and find all of the times we say, that's a different live stream. And it's just going to create an infinite list of live stream. Anyway.
Well, speaking of which, time is up because I actually have to go. I'm late. But no, that was fun. Okay.
That was fun.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we have a new call to action, which is all of this stuff. We didn't have a place before to kind of host it in one area. And we were like, just go to YouTube, but it's kind of everywhere. We are now putting all of these on Substack and just the free thing. Like, you don't have to do anything. So if you want to subscribe, so you always know what is happening and when they happen and after they happen, et cetera, and more information, and you can contact us and chat with us about it. You can go to the link in the description or in our bios, and that is the Substack subscription link for Breakthroughs Live. And subscribe there, and then you'll always know what's going on.
And you'll get updates on Supply Run, the show that's coming up in the spring. Well, spring to somewhere in there. Anyway, and you'll learn all about it.
Some spring or later.
Sometime. Yeah. But anyway, big gulps, huh?
Well, see you later.
See you later.